So this is a short excerpt of the conversation that will be released in full tomorrow. As the entire video is going to be about 2 hours, I can't get it all edited for you today at a reasonable time, but I can get you this, so enjoy this clip. Leftists have thoroughly destroyed brains.
You made it. You're good.
Oh, look at that guy bowing to the other identity class.
You can relax.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you. Oh wow, you look better in person. Okay, so.
That's very sweet of you. I don't often get that, so thank you.
Okay, it's fine. But yeah, how do you define abortion really quickly?
Abortion would be the forcible termination of an unborn human life.
Yes, but like, why do you hold that definition? Like, would you not just, like, assume like something like a like?
Asks for definition, receives definition, but why? Why does reality have to judge me? You know she says that a lot to herself.
Like a C-section would be considered an abortion?
No, because the baby is born alive. So how would that be an abortion?
What does the definition of abortion have to include the death of a fetus?
Because that's literally the definition of abortion.
It literally.
Oh, okay. So we've reached the part where we really see reality just separating ourselves, and we see this, of course, in the mind of an identity which receives the most amount of counterfeit virtue, telling her that she doesn't have to make sense or contend with reality. And so this is where you see it really getting incoherent. This is the left on full display, guys. She just asked why the definition of abortion has to involve the ending of the baby's life. Wow.
It really isn't, though. Where are you getting this definition from?
Where are you getting your definition from?
Let's go to like what, like, do you like in like Mayo Clinic, like any fucking like hospital you've ever gone to before?
A C-section ends with the birth of the child.
Right, but
I know.
But abortion,
both I and all three of my siblings were born via
generally.
C-section.
Yeah, I understand this.
I'm here. I'm talking to you.
I know, baby.
Thus I was not aborted.
I understand this, but like yes, but like no. Well, yes, but like no. But no, you could simply say that abortion is simply the ending of a pregnancy, right? So the ending of a pregnancy outside of the natural birth of a fetus. So I don't see that. I don't see why you would say that like it would have to end in the death of a fetus, which is why I'm pro.
That's a definition of abortion, actually.
Abortion, all 9 months.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be an abortion.
Right? Because say if a woman is not able to pass a fetus in the natural way, we can have these other abortion.
Did you just say pass a fetus instead of giving birth? Leftists are destroyed people. These people, she's not going to reproduce, but her resentment will grow. And it will eventually boil over, where you see leftists resenting those who do have families and are embodying reality. You're already seeing their resentment, of course, directed at people who embody reality, but when they're this cognitively destroyed, reality is simply an unbearable force for them.
Processes that would say like, okay, like she needs some type of induction that doesn't include the actual natural expulsion of a fetus, but it doesn't always end in the death of a fetus. So I don't see how you could say that Kamala Harris' stance is immoral in this sense.
I just don't understand how you're removing the death of the fetus from the equation about abortion. That's literally the entire moral issue. You and I would not even be arguing if we were talking about C-sections or about natural birth.
But it seems like at its core, though, we disagree on what the inherent definition of abortion is.
You could leave away. We could very easily solve this. Let's just not talk about the word abortion. Let's talk about the forcible termination of a baby.
Okay. So then what do you value in the fetus then?
The life of the fetus.
Dude,
okay.
Leftists are broken. They're cognitively wrecked. They're not required to engage with reality in their echo chambers, and this is how they embarrass themselves in front of millions of people like this. This is completely insane. But what you're seeing here isn't just an insane person. You're seeing what the left creates, and this is really what is going to drive home the conversion of a lot of, especially young men, but women too. When they see a woman like this, and they don't want to end up like her. They don't want to say things like, abortion has nothing to do with the death of the fetus or the baby. It's self-evidently absurd, but the left induces this.
Okay, so then when is this? You said it begins at conception?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because that is literally the biological definition of when an independent life begins.
Yes, but like, why does it have moral value?
It has moral value because that's literally the biological definition of when a human life begins.
Right, but like, why does that have moral value, though?
Okay, why does any life have moral value?
So he already answered her. She asked the same question again, and so he asks her the same question.
I would value sentience.
What? But why?
Right, because
Based on what?
This is simply what we value, like you and I value. Like, is it okay to like unplug?
No, it's not.
Like a brain dead patient, for example.
I mean, the question is whether it's okay to unplug a brain dead patient. Actually, quite a controversial one in sort of religious circles.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as why, I'm just wondering.
So he just demonstrated that she's incorrect, that they don't agree on that. But also, if you're in a coma and could potentially recover from the coma, just because you're not sentient doesn't mean that you should lose your life and you still have value. Though in the same way that a fetus or baby will eventually have consciousness. So she proved herself wrong there. It's very pathetic.
If somebody's in a coma and you know they're going to wake up, Do you have the right to unplug them?
Well, coma's not brain dead, though. We know that there's future sentience there. Like, it would be like a matter of like a contract.
Right,
like,
so future sentience. She just acknowledged that is the benchmark, and now she's going to get owned by her own definition.
Past future.
Because they're not intellectually serious and can't think using logic, reason, and rationality because they demonize those mechanisms as masculine and patriarchal.
Like, I'm sorry, past, present, or future sentience. But like a person in a coma has.
I agree, and guess what? Fetuses also have guaranteed future sentience.
Well, no, because you're only valuing.
Well, yes, definitionally speaking.
One half of the conjunct. That's not right. So it would be past, present, or future.
Now you're changing the topic. I mean, we started with what's the value of the fetus.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Leftists are an unrecoverable wreck, dude. You're seeing in front of you why they have no public intellectuals. Because if an intellectual tried to rise up the ranks of, let's say, intellectual rigor using logic, reason, and their scholarship, then they would have no audience because these people aren't able to think. This is the reason why they have no intellectuals. And we have Jordan Peterson. We have literally endless droves. Our bench is stacked when it comes to intellectuals, bro. Every religious scholar, every scientist, it's incredible.